the girls. The truth the girls. Alright, we're in the cemetery. And I guess we're just going to take pictures here. See if we see any orbs. Do you use flash?
It goes a long ways back.
That's
so
it.
We're going to go right to the back. Because
Okay.
that's right here. That's what my friend Mike and Cindy say is people have been known to deal with things or see things.
In the back?
Further in the back.
Uh-oh. Alright, I just took a picture and it looks like there's an orb in it. I just want to point out there are no fireflies right now. As you can see, if I put the camera here, there are no fireflies in the cemetery. Here are some pictures that I took in the graveyard. This first one doesn't have any orbs, it's just as a reference. You see the gravestones are marked A, C, and D, and there's also a B, which is Dunby. Here you can see A, B, C, and D, and you see that there's an orb between B and C. This is from the opposite vantage point. You can still see A, B, C, and D, and you see that there's an orb near the obelisk, high up, which is quite clear, and there's another more faint orb between A and B. In the previous shot, the orb was also in that general area right above the Dunby grave, which is labeled B. This one actually has 3 orbs in it, although they're quite faint. Again, there's one sort of between graves A and B, and then there's another one near grave C, the one with the 2 peaks on it. And there's a small one closer to grave D. So they're in the same general area that they are in the other pictures geographically, not on my camera lens, so it's not because I have spots on the lens, but more likely because they're actually in that space. Here's another picture where you see the same graves, and there are 2 orbs sort of between graves C and D, kind of higher up. And this picture is a little bit lightened up with more contrast, so hopefully you can see those 2 orbs because they're kind of faint. Now in this picture there's a small orb, again in the higher sort of plane of the picture, between graves C and D. And here I point it out for you. And in this picture there's again a small orb on the upper part of the picture near the head of the obelisk. The orbs seem to be in the same place geographically in the actual cemetery. In several of the pictures they're roughly in the same spot. Okay, this is the monument where I keep getting orbs around this one, and there's another one near here, and it says Edgar Bartram died March 1st, 1883, age 13 years. Oh my God. They all died in pain. Oh my God. That's what it says here. Down here it says, well, shine the light on it. It says they all died in pain.
What's the date on it? 1883.
1883, age 13 years. Oh no, wait. It says, no, it's not 13. It's 43 years. They all died in pain? Oh my God. That's pretty scary.
What's out here with us tonight? Is there anybody that likes to share anything with us? Give us a message, some kind of sign. So I'm going to leave my camera here, sitting on one of these stones. I'm going to walk away from it. I'll give you some time. If you want time alone, you can have that time alone. Say whatever you want. It's nice and stable. When you're ready, you want to give us a sign.
Alice P. What does that say? Daughter of J.D. Polly Gould, died February 8th, age 15 years and 11 months. Wow, this is a teenager's grave. Alright, so we're coming back to see if the camera's been moved. The light did.
Off, but I don't know why.
What happened to it?
Must have died.
It just died? Maybe she.
Must be.
You think Alice had anything to do with it?
Oh.
Poor Alice.
Alright, well, I hope somebody says something
15 years old. We'll see if she left us a message.
Give everybody one last chance before we get to the end. Anybody that wants to share anything, say something, whether it's something happy, sad, angry, a name, maybe a name of a loved one that's still present that you want to say something to. Give us some kind of sign. Lost my memory space for my video. Damn it.
I have a bit left.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Alice P. What does that say? 15 years and 11 months. Wow, this is a teenager's grave.
I'll leave.
Well, I was quite shocked when I went over the footage at home and found what seemed to be EVP on it. I wasn't expecting that. In fact, I recorded my sort of comments after we got back from the cemetery, and I guess I just went to the cemetery, I took some pictures, I saw some orbs, and I thought, well, that's it. Here are some of the comments. Hi. Well, I'm back. So obviously I survived my trip to the graveyard, and it was a little spooky. We did get some pictures of orbs, but that's it. No, you know, we didn't. I don't know. He took some like audio to see if we get any kind of EVP, but we did hear a kind of scream at one point, but we're not sure. Maybe it was a bird. As you can see, I wasn't, you know, playing up the spooky aspect all that much. I thought, okay, well, this was fun and that's it. But then when I came home and I went over it, I found that there were these, at least one clear EVP and two others that I can hear them clearly on my computer with the earphones on, but I'm not sure how well you're going to hear them over the internet. The one that said hey in a kind of low voice, like hey, like that, really quiet, and the other one that said get out. I guess they didn't want us there. I can't really blame them, and maybe they feel like we're intruding. We didn't mean any harm. And you might wonder, how can I tell that it's a ghost voice and it's not just some sound in the background? But to me, when I had the headset on, it really stood out as being a completely different kind of frequency. I don't know how much you know about EVPs, but I find that the ghost voices have a very electronic quality to them. Now, I did not put this voice on there. I'm not that tech savvy, and I wouldn't want to deceive you anyway. Now, I was kind of surprised that I got, you know, orbs and EVPs in the cemetery, but I'm not really surprised that, you know, this kind of thing happens, because, you know, I've said in other videos, everything is a lie. Like, everything they tell you, you know, your toothpaste is good for your teeth, and really it'll rot your teeth, and, you know, the aspartame will make you lose weight when really it'll make you gain weight, and, you know, on and on like that. Everything is deception, but one of the biggest deceptions is that the material that we see, the flesh, that this is real and this is all we are, when in fact, you know, any material can never be reduced to any solid particles. The atom, the subatomic particles just get smaller and smaller and smaller. There is no such thing as a solid, really. You know, there is no such thing as matter, not really. It's all vibrational. So, you know, to me, the most real thing is the soul, and it's kind of ironic. We are taught that, you know, this doesn't really exist, and we are just our bodies, and when you die, it's lights out. I think that makes the least sense to me. So I really believe that when you die, your other bodies, you know, your soul or your spirit or your astral bodies or whatever, they just continue on. And I guess, you know, some ways they're able to communicate with us, like they did with my neighbor in his house, or like they did with us on the film and the EVPs. And I really mean no disrespect to the ghosts. And actually, I feel really bad for Alice now, and next time I go down to Vermont, I'd like to put some flowers on her grave. Because poor thing, you know, maybe she has unfinished business, or I don't know why she'd still be hanging around the cemetery, but, you know, I guess they die and they're kind of like still attached to this world, and maybe they feel like we've forgotten about them or something. Anyway, I'll bring her some nice petunias if I get a chance, or some peonies rather. So that's it. That was my ghost hunting experience. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
This is where I believe I heard a woman scream.
You heard it down in the basement?
Broad daylight. My daughter and I were standing right up above here.